right, folks, welcome back to the Tiger Sports Shows. We take another run around the world of Tiger sports and Tiger activities. I'm your host, Greg Mays. I've got my co-host and little brother, Tren Mays, on the line. Tren, how's the Tiger week been?
Tiring.
Well, we're past Wednesday. Once you get past Wednesday, anybody can finish a week.
Yeah, but I'm exhausted.
All right. Well, we got a lot of things to talk about, and we're going to start with girls golf. What do you think about that?
I know they went some. Oh, yeah, they did really well at districts yesterday.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Following that
Qualified for
yesterday
state.
on Twitter.
Yeah. Qualified for the first time since 2018. Okay, so by my count, that's 4 years. And they won in dramatic fashion with a playoff win. Anna Brandt repeated her second place in districts twice in a row as runner-up. We've had one district champ in school history, Sarah Wissing, who, of course, is our only golf state champ, too. She won in 2007, and Shayna Raitt was runner-up in districts in 2005. So Anna is really putting herself with the top names in Tiger girls golf. But the big story was the whole team. Here's the story I heard. They're over in Grand Island, and we're trailing. We look like we're out of the money, Trent. We're kind of looking like we're going to be fourth or fifth. And all of a sudden, the weather hits, just like in Best of Times. Taft High responds. When the weather hits, our girls are tougher. They're just tougher than the other girls. They're still playing well. The other girls are starting to lose some strokes. All of a sudden, people on the course are scrambling because, of course, there's no big scoreboard, right? Everybody's trying to figure out, hold it, what's going on? Hastings is making a move. Are they winning? Are they losing? Are they catching up? Are they going to fall just short? I heard the Tribune guy had us at either 2 ahead or 2 behind, but nobody knows quite what's going on because you got to be everywhere at once, right? Golfers are everywhere. Yeah. And all of a sudden they added up, and it's a tie for third place. I don't even know who we were in the tie with. But you can't send 4 teams to state. It's got to be 3. 4 is the heartbreak spot. Tigers have been in that heartbreak spot a couple years. And so we've got to play a playoff. So evidently the tournament director is trying to read the NSAA rules. How do you play this playoff? Well, they got a little time to read about it because Anna actually tied for the championship. She tied for first, but they had to play off for the district championship. Anna loses that playoff, and then she's got to compose herself and join the rest of the girls for the team playoff. And here's how they play the team playoff. They take 4 of our girls and 4 girls from Columbus Lakeview.
Yeah.
And they all play the 10th hole together. 8 people play in the 10th hole.
Oh, wow.
Now, Tren, would that be allowed at miniature golf?
No, it would not.
It would not. I knew you knew miniature golf etiquette. That would not be allowed. Plus, the wind's blowing like crazy. So we got golf balls everywhere. We got players everywhere. It's a par 4. It's taken forever. Coach Douglas said that the best golf was not played in the B district. There were golf balls everywhere. Coach Christie is like hiding behind a tree, doubled over, perhaps getting sick because he can't take the tension. We play it all out. Nick Blasnes from the Tribune again thinks the Tigers have it. They add up the scores, dead tight again. We got to take all 8 girls to the 11th.
Holy cow! Double
overtime. All 8 girls head for the 11th. Now this is a par 3, and there we rise to the occasion. We win the spot, and we're headed to state. Maybe producer Tate knows where state is. I hadn't looked that up. But the Tiger girls are headed to state. That would be Anna Brandt, Elena Stevenson, Gracie McIntyre, Kendall Consbrook, and Cece Carlson. Great job by the girls.
Yeah, McIntyre girl is the son of former Tiger Lloyd McIntyre.
Pretty good. a pretty good number 50 in his day, wasn't he? Didn't
Yeah,
he?
she probably knows her way around a golf course.
All right. Well, they're headed out west. Monument Shadows Golf Course in Gehring, where I'll tell you the Tiger girls played out there last week. So they know the course a little bit. We'll see if they can make some hay at state golf. So congratulations, girls. All right. Softball also hit the postseason trainer. Were you following the Tiger girls over in sub-district play at Grand Island Northwest?
Actually, I went to the game. Actually drove over.
Yeah.
The funny part is there's 10 runs scored in the first inning. I got there right at the end of the first inning. So that was a long first inning.
You missed the
Alyssa
fireworks.
What?
You missed the fireworks.
Well, pretty close. Alyssa had a tough. She had to grind out that top of the first inning. Grand Island Central Catholic got 2 runs and got several girls. They had the bases loaded. And then the Tiger Bats got going. They bunted a couple of times. Carly Mulbach hit a grand slam off the foul pole.
Carly, yeah, off the foul pole, huh?
That's what the radio guys from GI were saying. It was off the foul pole. I missed that. Tigers got 8 runs in the first and really never looked back. Breckner settled in, and they won 13-3 to advance the championship game, which it was just a little odd going to Grand Island and passing the Smith Softball Complex, which is where we've usually hosted this. Yeah, then they ran into a buzz. What?
We're used to being at home.
Yeah. Then they ran into a buzzsaw known as Ava. Yeah. She has no last name. It's just Ava. She was throwing BBs.
That's the Northwest pitcher?
Yeah, she had 10 Ks against us at least, and then 10 in her first game. And it was close early. They had a big hit. We just couldn't string much together when I was there. Yeah. And then they tacked on some runs. We're hoping Alyssa's okay. She took a line drive off the knee. The radio guys from GI were very concerned. And,
I saw her at parent-teacher conferences last night. She looked like she was moving all right.
Yeah, and she went back in. She's a grinder and a bulldog. She has a little bit of her. She has a lot of her dad in her.
Another Tiger offensive lineman. I don't have his number right off the top of my head. I think he wore 61 in the 8th grade.
Yeah, I think he was 70. Maybe 60 number. I'm not sure.
You're just guessing. We're going to have to look it up. But Brent Becker, yeah, I think Alyssa will be okay, and we'll get going. Grace Beck had a couple run homer.
She hit a homer against GACC.
Yeah, great to see her get going.
They batted very well in that game. They walked 4 times and didn't strike out any. That's the whole key is getting girls on base. They put the ball in play, and GICC overthrew first quite a bit. We had some bunts. Weird field set up in GI. They actually have the permanent fence, and then just like 10 feet away was a temporary, which I didn't get why they weren't doing it like they do in Kearney, where they had I think Carly hit it off the back fence foul pole because that's where the foul pole would be. And then Grace hit hers off the back fence. Of course, that fence, I'm not sure how far the temporary was, but it was only 10 feet away, it seemed, sitting in the outfield.
Okay, the big question, I mean, that's sub-districts, and we didn't win, but of course, under the current system, the Tigers are still headed to a district final. Friday, 11 a.m. at Seward, best of 3. What do you know about the Seward Blue Jays?
We ran into Seward. We beat them a couple weeks ago in the Tiger in one of the Tiger tournaments. They came back at the end, so I expect a tough game, but we have been hitting the ball really well the last few weeks when we don't run into Ava, because Ava's just Ava. So we beat them 6-10 or 10-6, and they scored 4 in the 5th. It was one of those 1 hour and 30-minute run rule games. We came out and hit the ball really well at the start, and that's just what they need to do. Yeah. On Sunday or on the Friday, and then win 2, and let's try to get back to state. So
games will be at 11, and then approximately 1 and 3 if it takes a best of 3. I can't remember since this format came. Have we ever been in a series that went 3 games?
Nope. Usually we just won it in 2.
Yeah, we just swept it in 2. I know last year we like 10 run both.
Yeah, and it
both.
didn't last. Those games didn't last very long.
Well, I'm not sure we'll see that, but there's a chance I'll be driving by Seward. So if the girls can run it to 3 games, I might be able to get there.
Well, I'm hoping they take care of business in 2.
People can follow that on Game Changer. Seward does work with Strive, so we're kind of hoping they might drag some cameras out there and have the game going because, of course, I'm going to be trapped in the school building while the girls are playing. I may wear my softball helmet in protest again all through the day. All right.
There's a chance we may have a correspondent going. I haven't firmed those details up
yet.
yet.
Made firm details. All right. Well, on to football. The Tigers had picked up a win the week before at Lex. We were hoping they could keep it going. I predicted they would keep it going. That did not happen. A loss to Grand Island Northwest, who a lot better team than their 1-4 record said. What'd you think about the football game Friday night, Trenner?
Just thought there was a lot of missed tackles, it seemed. I didn't get to watch much of it because it was a nice night and I was quite busy.
What did Coach Foot always say about tackling, Trent?
Tackling.
Tackling. It's the whole show. All right. Well, the boys hit the road again. They're heading to Scotts Bluff this week. Trent, I got to tell you, Scotts Bluff is a very good football team.
Oh, they've been very good since 2 years ago when we beat them pretty good there. So they're big, they're strong, and they have big linemen. And we just need to keep just trying to get experience and just get positive things out of it.
Yep, and keep people healthy. Because then we got the home stretch, 2 home games, Ralston and Garrington, and I feel like we can get those games. Those are winnable games, don't you think?
Yeah, they're definitely Ralston, and both of them are going to have to make the long trips. It's unusual that we're in the Western swing now, so it's funny that an Omaha school is venturing out west to play one of the Western schools. Of course, there isn't very many schools west of us, so.
Well, that's just good. That's just good for Nebraska football. I think there ought to be more. I mean, if we're going to worry about how much gas it costs, then we shouldn't play sports at all. The other night, of course, Class A, big upset. North Platte at home beat number 1 Omaha Westside. And my Twitter feed was full of Omaha people talking about what a tough place to play North Platte is. And no offense to the Bulldogs, but let's put them on a bus to McCook. Let's put them on a bus to Scotts Bluff.
Play in the Apple Bowl or drive all the way to Scotts Bluff and have to go shopping at Cabela or
let's just send them to Aurora. Send them to Aurora. They want to see tough places. There's a lot of tough places to play out here. I think the state would do better with more mixing and matching and play. All right. I got 2 other bits of Tiger football news, Trent, and they are good. Do you want good news or really good news?
Really good news.
Really good news first. Do you want future good news or way, way, way in the future good news?
Whatever team beat Horizon.
All right. 8th grade football. Coach Adams, Coach Drake, and the boys went over, took care of business 9-0 at Horizon. Trent, I think they're gonna put up an undefeated season. Only the 3rd one in the history of Hastings 8th grade football. And it'd be the first one we weren't associated with.
I know. That's scary.
Oh, excuse me, the 4th one. Remember Mike Etzelmiller's year, we went 3-0. They only let us play 3 games.
That's right. And we played in the water.
Yes, we did. But they beat Horizon over on the turf at Horizon, 9-0, got a safety and a touchdown, an extra point. I tell you, Trenner, you should go watch them play. They got a kicker.
Yeah, the Johnson kids.
Yeah. All right.
But but did you notice what happened? What were the 2 Kearney scores?
A lot to not very much. 0.
They didn't give up points in either game.
Ouch.
That's what we like. I always talk to Coach Itz. We're hunting for goose eggs.
That's good. All right. You want to know the other future news, the other win this week?
What's that?
Our boy number for next year is 421, Trent. That is 4 under the playoff mark.
Oh, wow.
We are eligible.
Oh, I should get my pom-poms. I can't reach them.
Yeah, hey, we are eligible. I got that official word just a little bit ago from Mrs. Douglas. So we are
That's
eligible.
awesome. Well,
Yeah.
yesterday, the way those freshmen hogged the hallway when I was moving my student to the bus, we almost lost a few more freshman boys. So we could have been probably playing C2 or 8-man if
Well,
they
you be
don't
careful
start
with
paying
those
attention
guys.
where they're walking.
All right. Okay, we got some news from other sports. Tennis went over to Kearney, had a tough day. Kearney's very good tennis team, but they're gearing up, to state. In tennis, you just head straight to state. I think coach has got his lineup kind of figured out. Now I got to tell people I've been wrong all year. I've been showing my lack of knowledge about tennis. Number 3 doubles is just something they've been doing in some duels. It will not be going on at state. It's a good thing I didn't take the days off from school to go down and watch that. All right, no number 3 doubles, but next week the boys have Kearney Catholic Invitational, and then I think that's it. That after that they got to be ready for state on the 13th of October. So, the key is you got to get down to state, win some matches, put some points on the board, and you can sneak to a top 10 finish. So we'll see. We'll see how the boys do. Cross country is leaving the state, Trenner. They have had enough of Nebraska. They are headed for Phillipsburg, Kansas tomorrow. What do you know about cross country in Phillipsburg, Kansas?
I've been to Phillipsburg many moons ago.
Really?
One
What were
day,
you doing in Phillipsburg?
friend Mike lived down there. Rest his
Oh,
soul.
yeah, that's right.
He's not with us anymore. So
Yeah, good guy. Very good guy. All right. Well, it's pretty flat in Phillipsburg, isn't it?
I think so.
All
I
right.
remember that, right?
All right. Well, they're headed down there. And then after that, it's districts. And I don't know what this district thing is. Class B is running 2 of their 4 districts out at Overton Golf Course. Lexington's hosting both B3 and B4. And it's basically every team in the state between Crete and Scotts Bluff, every Class B team.
Wow.
And they kind of just mixed and matched them. I don't know how they did it. Like our girls are in B3 with Beatrice Lexington, Lincoln Northwest, Norris, and Seward. Our boys are in B4 with Beatrice, Crete, Norris, Grand Island Northwest, and York. I wish we could get Omaha Northwest into that district somewhere, Trenner.
Yeah, get a few more directional schools.
Taking a look now, top 3 teams qualify. We definitely got a chance to get some individuals in, and I'm telling you, Trenner, the boys have been running really well.
Yes.
They just have. Not that the girls haven't been running well, but the boys have been running very well. The girls have 2 top 10 teams in their district, Norris and Lexington. Of course, our girls have spent some time in the top 10 this year too. So you got to say those 3 teams are the favorites. You got to put Tigers in with the favorites. On the boys' side, the only 2 rated teams are Norris and Hastings. Now, Norris is pretty salty, so winning a district championship would be a great, great day for Coach Kreitzer's crew. But I think we can get both those teams in the state cross country meet, Trent.
That would be huge. That would be a fun thing for everybody.
State cross country over at Kearney is one of the NSAA's best events. Kearney's been hosting it for 50 years now. This might be the 50th anniversary of them hosting. Yeah. They do it right. And Trent, I don't say nice things about Kearney if I don't have to.
I've been there one time.
To Kearney?
To the cross country meet. I went 1 year.
I was going to say it's a charmed life if you've only had to go to Kearney once. Yeah. State cross country is great. Emma, my daughter, had a great time running over here. Is that when you went?
Yep. That's when I was there. The only time it was crazy to get there because there's houses all around the golf course, and you sort of got to go between people's yards to get inside the golf course. So,
and usually, they have some beautiful weather. I've been over there just on some beautiful fall days. All right, we still got volleyball going. It's easy to forget them sometimes because everybody else starts to get to postseason play. But volleyball's still going. They went 1-2 this Saturday at Raymond Central. Lost to Fairbury and York, picked up a win over Takema Herman. That might be the only time the Tigers of Hastings and the Tigers of Takema Herman have ever clashed in any sport. The Purple Tigers of Takema Herman came out on the bottom. The girls picked up the win. Then we had a triangular with Beatrice and Ground Northwest down in Beatrice. Lost both of those. So the girls reeling a little bit. We got to get the success run going. We got Aurora, Norris, and Minden left. Norris is salty. Aurora is not having an Aurora type year. And I don't know anything about Minden except they wear purple.
Yeah, Norris is a factory for volleyball.
Yeah. Yep. They got a lot going on there. All right. So that gets us through Tiger Sports. I got the esports update. We lost to Westside yesterday. Next week, Tren, it's for real. Tigers versus Creighton Prep.
Oh,
you know how I feel about Prep, Tren.
What day is that?
Tuesday. Always Tuesdays.
Oh.
All right. So the Bash brothers or Bash something they're playing. I don't know. But
Man, try to sneak over.
Yeah. We got the band heading for OMI, the Omaha Marching Institute. I don't know. It's always been OMI to me. That's a biggie. It's not state, but it's biggie. It's at Elkhorn this year in their stadium. So band is heading there. Dungeons and Dragons Club is rolling. They got about 30 kids. I heard we had a good showing for Unified Bowling and Unified Cheer, 2 new sports we're adding. We got a lot of people getting added there. There was one other activity I was going to mention. What else?
Big choir concert on Monday, Tiger Mania.
Oh, yeah. Tiger Mania is always a great show. Monday at 7?
Yeah. I've actually been with the men's choir for the last few weeks. So
you're singing in the men's choir?
No, I am not singing in the men's choir. I try to go up and down the ramp in the auditorium, and I'm not thrilled with that. So
all right. Well, you hang in there. You keep people safe. Keep that men's choir ready to go. I did check in with show choir. Show choir's first performance is until January 14th.
Yeah,
so
they usually don't get started. And then the play rehearsal. We're a month away from one of my favorite plays, 12 Angry Jurors.
Did you perform in that once? Were you in that once?
We just watch that every year in Com Arts with Miss Funky.
Henry Fonda,
one of
right?
my favorite movies.
Isn't Henry Fonda the lead in that?
Yeah, and then they are going. We will talk about that later. I have some inside scoop on how they're going to do it this year. So,
all right. Well, let's talk. Let's talk 12 Angry Jurors next week. All right, we got to get to our history section though, Trenner. We are in some tough numbers. Tough numbers in the 30s.
You're telling me.
Wait till we get to the high 30s. All right, we're going to start with 30. Now, last week I picked girls basketball player Shauna Jones, who of course really is cross country and track star Shauna Jones. I picked her for my number 30, but I hear you've got a number 30 this week.
Yeah, I do have a number 30. Let's see who it is. Kelly Wiesman.
There he is.
Class A state champion. Set the playoff record. We open against Papillion. He rushes for 227. The Tigers went no huddle to start that game with the clear wristbands. Coach O really just pulling out all the stops. H. Jones was rocking that night. My story is I didn't get off from the college newspaper, so I listened to 3/4.
You were important to that newspaper.
No, I was not. They were all not there. They went to a symposium. They told me I had to stay. I was not happy. So it gets to the end of the third quarter, and I'm in a dead sprint from the Gray Center to H. Jones. I ran that quicker than I've ran any time in my life. I got there to see the end, and it was glorious.
We had security camera footage of that.
There is no. It was in the 90s, dude. There was no security cameras at Hastings College. So all I know is there's like 7 to 10 steps at the Gray Center when you go south. I don't even remember hitting any of the steps because I was moving.
Well, you were nimble in those days. You were nimble. Okay, I got a Kelly Wiesman question for you. Who is even in the conversation other than Kelly for toughest Tiger football player ever?
Oh, wow.
You putting anybody else in that conversation? Tough man, Tiger football, Mount Rushmore. Is it just Kelly 4 times?
God, we may have to talk. You may have to let me. You put me on the spot. I may have to think about this one.
All right. You think about it. We'll come back to it. I got a name you should think about. Houseman.
Oh, Ray? Definitely
that's
put
a
Ray
tough
on
call.
there.
All right.
I would put a guy we might see later in Ben Buenbeck.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because Ben and his little backmate, who we talked about, Cooper Cole's dad, Mr. Josh, those two would rather hit you than look at you. So,
Yeah, I got to tell you, Josh tells me Cooper's faster, Trent.
oh, see, I
I
did.
told him that's just because he's carrying the burdens of fatherhood, Trent. Otherwise, otherwise he runs past him. All
Well,
right. We're going to number
Josh was a bull.
he was number 31. I think we've got the same pick.
Yeah, I just found mine today.
I told you to go look at the 54 picture, didn't
Well,
I?
yeah, I was in. I had PE duty in the North Gym lobby. So,
Oh, we got a
oh wow,
nominee.
I didn't even think about
You didn't pick
Wibbels.
Wibbs. I thought you might take Wibbs.
Well,
Sam
my
Wibbles.
brain hasn't been working since you told me all about this.
Yeah.
So,
All state
Wibbs, what
pitcher.
can you say about Wibbs? That guy was either throwing strikes at 100 miles an hour, or when he was when his first 2 years when he got to Tigerland, he was it was going outside and he's walking guys, but he had control. He
Hit
had
the
some
ball.
control at the end.
Hey, great senior year, the first All-State, All-Nebraska player in Tiger history. He might still be the only All-Nebraska player because, of course, Mike Bovee didn't get his senior year.
Oh, for a senior, probably one of our best teams ever. We missed out on. Yeah, Wibbels. Wibbels was usually, let's see, 18 outs in a 6 innings, 7 innings, 21. He would have 17 Ks, and it was fun to watch because there were I would just like to know what the infielders and outfielders thought because they did a lot of standing around when he pitched.
Well, I'm nervous just facing this picture.
Yeah,
just facing this picture makes me nervous.
He looks angry. He looks like he's gonna. Well, and then just his catchers. The old Tate story, our producer, when he had to catch Corey Adams, who is now Corey Dreer, and Tate had to wear double batting gloves because Corey threw hard, but I don't think Corey threw as hard as Sam Wibbels.
No, they did not. All right, on to our number.
Mike was first team.
Mike was first team, says Tater. He says he was all Nebraska too. So we've had two.
Junior.
All right, here's my pick for number 31.
Wait a minute.
I assume he's yours too.
That's mine. Yeah, that's mine.
Cal Johnson, the star All-State basketball player for the 1954 state champs. Also a star of the Legion baseball state champs, the pitcher who led them into regionals that year. Great athlete, great guy, great supporter of Hastings baseball. Been around here for a long time. Cal's a name you always remember. To me, he's the number 31. Is that who you had too, Trenner?
Yeah, that's who I had.
Yeah.
Different picture.
I love that picture. In the background of that one, you can see the old Manual Arts board. They didn't print out paper rosters. They just had a roster. They would slide in all the players' name on the board. And when you came into the gym, you could see both teams would have names and numbers up there.
Yeah, Grand Island Central Catholic used to do that.
Okay. Let's see. Looks like number 32. We're going to start with my pick. And then, Tren, you got a couple, a nominee and a winner. Okay, I got John Swanson, the other Twin Tower of the 1954 team, the big rebounder, big dirty work guy. He was All-State too. He and Cal were both All-State on that team. They beat Lincoln High in the semis. Lincoln High had a guy named Alan Graves, heck of a big man. Swanson was a big part of shutting him down, which of course allows Cal then to roam around and score points. John Swanson's my number 32. Oh, they beat Benson in the finals. Big win over Benson. All right, who's Tren got on 32?
I'm not even sure who mine is. Oh,
Rod French, great wrestler, one of our first state champs. We had of course the brothers who were state champs in the 60s. French might have been the third state wrestling champion in Tiger history. Then Blessing comes around in 81. Rod French, good pick. That's a tough guy, Trenner.
Yeah, that was a it's Wednesday. So that was a 225 pickup if we're scoring on the clock. So
if we're playing fantasy Tiger number game. All right, let's see. He didn't win it for you though. Who's your pick?
I went with this one, just recent.
Oh,
3,200-meter relay state champs.
yeah, there they are.
And this was a 224 pickup for me. So
Landon Eckhart's still running track over at UNK. Matt Oshner, Johnny Lopez, and of course Jaden Welsh. Jaden, one of the best tracksters we've ever had at Hastings High. That's a great pick.
So if I'm wrong, this was that last race that we were watching on statewide television, correct?
No, that's the 1600.
Oh, the
3200
okay.
would have been day one. Day one.
Oh, okay. Because that was very dramatic television to watch at the end.
Yeah, the 1600 we just had to finish like second or ahead of Waverly or something.
Yeah.
When we did what we needed to do. Yeah. And some different guys on the 1600, but this was the state champs, 3200.
This was me. This was me looking at the individual state championship plaques. Is where I collected these two.
Mrs. Mays and I missed our exit in Omaha and got to the race as it was going. We sprinted, well, whatever I can do sprinting wise, to the fence and watched it through the fence as the Tigers won it. All right. So we've got a number 33. We both have picks. We're going to go with my pick first.
Oh, wow.
Bienkowski. First 1,000-yard rusher in Tiger history, correct, Trenner?
Only 1,000-yard rusher.
Heck of an athlete. Great baseball player. He drove some baseballs out of Duncan. Even as a Brave, he drove some baseballs out of Duncan, if I remember.
Yeah, right. I think he had the only Hastings Legion homer as a Brave for a long time. Over 1,600 yards. He has the record with Rebarger, who we didn't mention earlier with Tyler. I don't know if we mentioned Tyler or not, but they each had 6 touchdowns. He did that against Beatrice. Just a big old tank. We coached him. He played 2 years down to old junior high downtown, like everybody did, all those 7th graders. And he's just a big kid and real nice guy. I've seen him lately around town. And then he gets hurt, and then Pat Trader goes off and does his little receiving thing. And then he comes back, and he offense, defense, middle linebacker, plus running the ball, probably 225.
Oh, yeah, he was a football player.
I would put him close to that Mount Rushmore of tough
guys. All right. Who's your 33 pick, though? If you didn't pick Bo for 33.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. I went with our all-time leading until Connor.
Yeah.
I went with Mr. Mike Etzelmiller. So
first 4-year starter in basketball since I think 1938. Except we got the year wrong. Mike was 2004, Tater.
Yeah. Yep.
You're aging him. You're aging the Millard North head coach. He's
the new Millard North head coach. That's a great accomplishment for Mike. So
great guy. Of course, his dad, longtime coach. His dad was his coach here. Mike, heck of a football player too. We talked about him at number 11. Was a good quarterback. Quarterbacked an undefeated 8th grade team for us. So I'm always fans of those guys.
It helped that he was 6'1".
Yeah, he was big dude. Quarterback sneak was effective. It was effective that year.
Yeah. And he just a good guy.
Yes.
And he could score. He had a lot of good parts around him. The Williams brothers, Andy. He had the shooters, Parent.
Coutsy.
And Jed, who's around town. So, but you can't go wrong with the 1,000-yard. The leading scorer until Connor gets him. So
yep. And both Connor and Mike, 4-year starters, and that kind of stretched that record out. Mike took the record from Bo Butenbeck and Mark McVicker, exactly tied. Both of them 919 points, but both of them played in eras where you played on the freshman team no matter what. And so they were 3-year guys, but Mike took the number up over 1,000, and I think Connor got it almost to 1,200.
1,200, I think, yeah.
All right. I've got a 34. I heard you failed on 34.
34 is a tough number. I did a lot of digging to find a 34, 35, 36.
Okay. Here's my 34 nominee. How about Elizabeth Franssen getting a little love wearing 34?
Oh, See, I just
I got her number. I think I have her number on my wall. Yep, there it is. The black jersey up there.
she's
Yeah.
just a rebounding machine. That key to that first that back to back or the back to
He
back
was the first district champ. Yeah.
champ, and she was the glue that held that
Oh,
team together by far.
absolutely. In fact, if we expanded our tough guys beyond football, I'll spend some time arguing for Elizabeth.
But then the best part is she's even a nicer person.
Oh,
She
she's a
has
girl.
two personalities.
Yeah. She's
Real
working
nice gal. And you get her on the court in her basketball uniform, and she's gonna come pick you into the ground. So
Yeah, she's in Chicago now, doing jobs where she helps people. That doesn't
that's
surprise
good.
me at all.
No,
She's
it
a helper.
doesn't at all.
My favorite Elizabeth story, we're coming down the stretch of that district championship. We got a chance to finally win one. It's been 17 years since the girls have been to state. You know, those girls set that as their goal. I got the huddle. I'm trying to go over the last minute details. Just, okay, we got to remember this and this. Elizabeth is like yelling over the top of me, pointing at the ground like this, going, "We are going to finish this. We're finishing in this. That's all that matters. We're finishing it." I just shut up and let her take charge, and the girls went out and finished it.
Well, you got Elizabeth and Sophie in that huddle. You
Yeah.
probably could have backed off at the end, but that's
There's
a pretty funny story. So
some strong ladies on that team. Libby Napple had a great night that night. Jamie,
yeah.
holy cow, what a bunch. All right. She's not my pick, though, for 34.
Oh
For
wow.
34, I'm going with the All-Stater, the thin man, Al Motley. Don't let the glasses fool you. When you see pictures of Motley, he's got those big old thick early 60s glasses on, and you're like, what is this guy? Great athlete. You can see him elevating here. Great shooter, a sharp shooter. Led Hastings to the state tournament in 61 and 62, all the way to the semifinals, I think, in 62. And just a great player, Al Motley for Tiger basketball. All right, are we doing 35?
Yeah, I think so.
We might have the same pick for 35. We should. There he is. Old consumer economics, Dick Kleiber, one of my favorite teachers at Hastings High, and not because he was soft and cuddly, I'll tell you that. He was he was a prickly guy, but he was a funny guy, had been a great athlete in his day. You know, the next year after this, he's on the 54 state championship team, starter, kind of power forward, allowing Tom Osborne at 6'3" to play guard. Kleiber, the next year, Tom Osborne wins high school athlete of the year. I tell you, I think Kleiber would have been a great candidate for that the year before.
Oh wow.
Starter on the state championship basketball team, starter on the state championship baseball team, a very important piece as an end on the football squad, and running track too, and still a great guy. I love it when I see Mr. Kleiber out walking the track. One of my favorite notes I got when I retired from coaching was from Mr. Kleiber. Just a great gentleman and a gentleman Tiger, and he's my 35 too, Trenner.
Yeah, it's another one of those that I found at the last minute.
Well, the 54 Tigers, there they are, the Aces. They were loaded with 30 numbers. They had some good ones. All right, let's see, Trenner. Next week, Tigers at Scottsbluff football. Gonna be a tough one. Gonna have to do what they can out there. The big game Friday though for us is softball, right?
Yeah,
we got to get those Tigers to state.
Yeah, we need to get the seniors back there one last time, so it would only be right.
It's just good for ticket sales at state.
Yeah, there's a lot of local teams that are in contention right now.
Yeah, Saints, so you're having a pretty good year.
Yeah, they're number one in points, 30-2.
All right.
So, and then there's teams up north of us that
well, Northwest is going to be a contender to win it all, I think.
Yeah. So I had fun. I got to see Hastings College football last weekend, and that was a blast to go watch. I'm definitely going to go back and watch that again. So,
well, that's good news. All right, Tren, you got last word. We got to get out of here.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. See you next week.